Hello everyone! So today I have a build for the new Lovestruck pack. Um, I decided to not do a residential build, mostly because that is all I have been seeing for this pack. So I also decided not to do a specifically Lovestruck and base game only build. However, I decided to do a restaurant. So, what I did though was design this in a way that you can easily make it a bar or lounge. Um, and I think it will work really well. The only dine out items in this build is the kitchen and the host and uh, waiter station. So again, I tried to kind of make it so it'd be very easy to convert. So if you don't have Dine Out, you can still download this and use it. It also, uh, works as a restaurant. I just thought that this area near the park needed a restaurant. I don't know why they put a vacation rental there. It makes no sense to me. So it was a cute build, but I thought a garden side, park side restaurant was needed. Now, that being said, this is designed in the theme of a Mexican restaurant, just because I wanted it to, reflect the world that it's in. I also do want to point out that halfway through this build, well, maybe not even halfway, I moved to a different location with this. This lot is difficult to build in, so you will see my camera jumping a little bit. I apologize. Um, but there are tall buildings around this entire lot, and I couldn't see well enough to decide how I liked the outside. So I moved it and then move it back toward the end and complete it there. So there are a lot of changes. I realized that the footprint on this build was way too large for, the build itself. But again, it was mostly because I couldn't really get in and look at it to decide if it was too big. I mean, I was kind of thinking it was to begin with. So that is one reason for the switch, and one reason that it changes pretty drastically, because I'm sure you looked at the thumbnail or before watching this video, and it looks a little different. Not much, but a little bit from what you're seeing right now. So also, again, I still want to point out I am dealing with my dental flipper, and I hope my voice isn't too crazy for you guys. I'm still getting used to wearing it, and unfortunately, it's a little on the loose side now, so we're probably going to order me a new one, but hopefully I'll be able to talk a little better with that one, but it will be into September before I get that. So, unless I break down and go in and go, I can't do this anymore. So, anyway, that being said, just, that's why I sound a little different. All right, so the other thing with this build, I wanted it to look like it's been there for a while. So the kind of old, you know, I guess Adobe type look is what I was going for. And I wanted, though, this nice outside patio area, and it has a lot of patio. So, but I like it. I think it's cute. And really, I believe a lot of restaurants or bars or just, public buildings in general are very open to the outside in Mexico. I'll admit I have never been. It is on my list of places to go, but I haven't gotten there yet. So one day. But from the photos I looked looked at various mostly touristy type areas. This was a common occurrence of a lot of outdoor space, and that makes sense. They have the climate for it. So the other thing with this, I kind of struggled with how how to do some things, and I struggled with coloring. I also struggled with not pausing my build. If you've watched my videos before, you know I have a cat who is very demanding, and he likes to bother me while I record. And normally I pause the video and come back and unpause it, but I forgot. So you see, it went from kind of a darker look to a brighter look on this build. That is why. So, yeah, my cat. Um, but that's okay. It's okay. You didn't miss much, I promise. I realized it pretty quick. So, anyway, here I'm just making a nice little pergola area. I just wanted something different. I did end up in the end putting some ground cover on top of this. However, I will let you know now, it floats when you're on that first floor and you can see it. So if it bothers you, just delete it. I will probably delete it on mine. I'm going to look for my own build, which you'll see a small preview, or my own game, not build. I might go ahead and try like the jungle adventure stuff that might hide. I can't remember if that does or not. If not, it's still a cool look. So I like it. And I kept it, kind of. So I kept it in the build anyway. But anyway, the other thing I really wanted to do was use these archways. However, they do come out later on because I just couldn't get this to work with the vibe I wanted to go for. I also played around a lot with what I was going to use to hold these up, or hold the pergola up, because again, base game and Lovestruck only for the majority of this build. And I like the columns we were given in the build, but it wasn't going with my vibe as well as I wanted it to. But is what it is. So I ended up using the base game pillars and then just kind of going from there. The other thing is, as I said, I wanted to create an open feel. So, using these archways. But eventually I decide I want to use the base game archways that you would know from the Oasis Springs builds. So those eventually go in and change things up. So here you can see I did move to the new lot where I could actually take a look at what was building. Yeah, this turned out so much better. I could see what it looked like, and as you can tell, I made changes pretty quickly. I actually change a little more than this after kind of looking at it, seeing how things were, how it looked from the world. I'm trying to do that more because personally, I would like something that looks good from the world view as well as in the lot itself. So I've been trying to make myself go out and check it and look and see, and it's worked out pretty well for me, I think. All right, so here you can see me playing around with these and finally going, I give up. They're just a little too modern looking, I think, for this build. I love them. I will be using them a lot in like every build I have, probably. So be forewarned. I'll try not to, okay? I know not everybody can afford these packs right away. But they're easily replaced. So It's okay. So, as I said, my focus with this build was really to design it with just the Lovestruck pack and base game, pretty much, like I said, except for a couple areas. So I'm focusing on kind of the different new things we have. And I will say, I absolutely love this new floral wallpaper. I will be using it in a lot of builds. I just think it's fun and I love all the different color combinations. It just, I don't know, there's something about it. So be prepared for that as well. So the little room there by, or the little room, the bigger room by the bathroom area there is the kitchen. As I said, easy to kind of make into a bar if needed. You can either, take the door out to that kitchen area or even turn it into something else. In fact, I thought it would make a fun little, like, woohoo blanket spot or something. So you can make it whatever you want. I might put blankets in mine if I don't use it as a restaurant. Um, and really, I know that like the bars don't work in the dine out hack when you do a restaurant. However, if you do have Carls Dine-Out mod, which I absolutely love and recommend if you have a PC, you can use bars with your restaurants. So I kind of figured, that would be kind of an extra for somebody who has that mod. But it really, I believe, only works if you're using the restaurant as your business. I haven't played with it if I haven't been. So there's that. Okay, so out here I wanted to add some lighting, and these are really the only like patio lights we had, and I love them. They're in the new pack, but they don't go up to the top because I am using taller height walls. Um, but I think making them, adding in these columns and making them look like they're just hanging there is cute. I do see that and know that the um, wooden pillars that are holding those lights up do not quite go into the columns, but I didn't think it looked too bad, so I went ahead and left it as is. So the other thing with this is that I really wanted to give this kind of a, I don't know, like an old fashioned vibe. So I'm using these lights and I think they're cute. I really do. I like these. These will go in a lot of my builds. I also really struggled trying to get something to match that wallpaper. So bear with me on that. Okay, guys. Um, I thought all of these wallpapers had some good matches. So you can see me kind of playing with them and going, can I really do this or not? Um, but so that little stair area ends up having a different a vibe there. So I just put this cement in. We're going to say that the people that own this building did some remodeling throughout the years. It's not, so that's why it looks, a little bit more fresh and newer inside. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So the other thing, I wanted to stick with this more um, traditional looking bar. This is a new one. I debated about using the, kind of circular type bar, for lack of better word, rounded bar. That's the word I need, rounded. But I just didn't think it fit the vibe that I was going for here. And just a heads up, if you checked out the garden lounge I built last time, yes, I know I did another one technically. Like I said, in my mind, this is a restaurant, not a lounge. I am working on kind of updating that to have items from the new pack, and I will be putting that rounded bar in there. Once I do the updating, I'll upload it to the gallery as kind of another option. So if you have bought this pack and you liked that build, I will be adding all those things into it for you. It's just a few things. I'll add the new Woohoo blanket. I'll probably add the game set. I always intended on doing that and updating it, but I do want it available for people who don't have the pack as well. So, all right, so here you can see I'm kind of trying to set this up so it has that bar slash restaurant feel. And I think I pulled it off. I didn't want to put a lot in here, especially if you end up running this as a bar or a lounge, just because, you could add more things in here. There is room for, I think it's like the foosball type table. I tried that one out. The ping pong tables, if you wanted to put that in, will fit in this inside. And of course, you can remove whatever to place whatever you want in here. So, but I did want to leave some room for that. There is room for a dance floor if you wanted to do that as well. Like I said, my focus on this was really a restaurant because that's how I'm going to use it, but I wanted to make it versatile. So I decided to put this side porch in and put, just some cute little picnic tables out there. Because I realized the interior was very, like, I don't know, bougie. We'll use that word. It's bougie. And that wasn't the original type I was going for. That's what happened. So I wanted the outside to be a little more reflective of color and fun. So I thought these tables would be a good idea. And added the candles for some ambiance because we can't really use, or I couldn't use the lights I wanted to. Now, here's a hint for the end. I do have a photo of some changes I made to the build I put into my legacy game. So, just some ideas that if you guys are downloading this and you have multiple packs that you could do. Nothing too crazy. I didn't change anything on the inside. Just added some more lights. I believe they were actually the little campers lights, sized up is what I used. And yeah, they turn out pretty cool, and you'll see that at the end of this video. So here I really wanted to use these planters, these wall planters. I thought they were fun here. So I love that we can kind of mix and match them and they work together. So that was cool. And out here, I wanted some seating. In my mind, as a restaurant, this would be like where people would go to wait for their table because, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of tables here. And then I was like, it'd be cool to have a fireplace. And so I ended up using, of course, base game fireplace. So I put a wall in and just tried to make it look as nice as possible. I think I pulled it off. I love how this looked. I do play around a bit with the seating I put in. I think it was just one of those things that it kept coming back to it. So be ready for that. I also want to say these lights are really cool that are on the wall. I will probably be using those quite a bit. Now, curtains. This is my issue on a consistent basis is curtains. I struggled. I didn't really want to use these beaded ones, but I do. I wanted them to be, more fabric, but it works. Just nothing really works with these windows for some reason. Sims team, we need more base game curtains that are somewhat pretty or plain pretty, okay? We just, just something nice, okay? So, added in the storage closet too, by the way, because yes, That has to be there. That's just fun. Um, and it makes sense in a commercial build. I'm actually excited about this because there's been numerous times I've been like, okay, a bar would be nice to have a fun little woohoo spot. It's a closet. It's like, okay. So, yeah. So I put that in there. And then upstairs is just like a game room, someplace to gather. Again, if you're going to use this as a bar or a lounge. I also kind of wanted to create just like a private space out here to an extent. I didn't put a lot out here. There are a couple of benches that you'll see here in a minute. But again, it's left for if you have other packs, you can easily take out what's there and put in other things. So if you have never watched my builds before, that is something I try to do when I'm doing like base game plus pack builds is, try to make it flexible, but usable as is as well. So again, being that we have some more fun interactions with, seating and all that, I figured just some cozy little benches out here work pretty well. So I also took a look at this room at this point and just kind of went, I need to put something in here. And you can see me playing. I was not sure what the heck to do here. I finally went, you know what? We're just going to put in like a sofa and just a place to sit and, relax, hang out. And then I decided, another sofa isn't going to work. So I put in a chess table. Now, again, I don't know exactly how this is going to work with Dine-Out. If you do decide to run this as a restaurant, but we'll see. If it doesn't work, my suggestion would be to either just take all this out or remove the stairs. As I said, I might actually have the sim run this at some point using the Dine-Out mod just to see how that would work. Probably won't be in my legacy game for a while, but because I'm just starting a new generation here shortly, but I already have plans for that one. But I might just start a game to play with it. Yeah. So, also speaking of, I am going to be taking down a poll I have on my community tab soon. It is the what type of legacy let's play do you want me to do? So far, the occult challenge is winning. I have inserted a link into the comments to what that challenge entails. And more than likely after that's done, if that's the one that's chosen, I will go into a normal legacy challenge. However, this is also all going to depend on whether or not my computer will let me do this. I've been playing a little bit. It seems to be working pretty well. Unfortunately, right now, I can't afford a computer upgrade, but I have done a few little things to make it run much faster. I don't have a real cheap computer. It's not, I got it so I could run CAD programs. So it's not too crazy or, like a really like cheap computer. But we will see. Because last time I tried to do this when my channel first started, my computer hated me. But it wasn't this one. So we'll see what happens here. All right, so now I'm just adding in, of course, the outer stuff. I've moved back to the main lot, fountain in there. I've not been keeping up with this build. I'm sorry. Again, if you watch this channel, I like to just kind of talk, not necessarily about the build, but I am debating on whether or not I want to do or try on camera. So me on camera, I don't mind being on camera. It's more of sometimes that's That was too much for my computer before. So if I can do it, I'm going to try to do it. You'll get to see my pretty face and probably my cats as well. Yeah, because I know they'll be in my face at some point. But I might also look into a cat cam for anybody who is also a cat lover. Just because sometimes they do some fun things. So, anyway, I know we're getting closer to the end of this build here, and I'm just adding in, some stuff to make it look gardeny. That's the whole point of this. It's supposed to look like a restaurant that is next to the garden. And I hope I have done that well for you. So, I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear me here because I have all my windows open right now and a bunch of rain has just started. And speaking of cats, my cat is in the window and I know he won't let me close it. So hopefully you can hear me over that rain. I don't think we're getting thunder, but just in case you hear some, that's what's happening. All right. Just as I said, getting everything kind of finished up, doing all the, terrain paint and everything else that goes along with that. I didn't want to do a ton of landscaping around like the back area. I wanted it to look just, little spots, little areas. I thought that would be fun. I also thought that like leaving some of this blank space up front, again, you could put some fun activities up there. I thought like adding the water balloon bucket might be fun in the summer, things like that. But that was kind of why I didn't go too crazy up front here in this area. But I think it also looks nice. Most places don't have 5 tons of landscaping. Some do. All right, and then also, of course, we have to have lighting. Again, I am a lighting fanatic. I like to create ambiance with lighting. Again, if you are new to the channel, I have an interior design degree and I took lighting classes. So creating a nice lit up pretty space is important to me. And I think I pulled it off. I like it. I debated when I moved this into my own game of putting the I think they're from high school years lights up in this area, but I decided not to. I think it turned out pretty cool. So, all right. So here is the finished product. And I really like it. I think it's cute. I think it fits the vibe. And I hope you like it too. So I'm going to let you go and look at pictures, and I'll be right back. All right, and here is the photo of what this looks like in my game. You can see I put the fireplace from the Desert Lux kit in, so I took down the wall and then just added the lights to the side porch here. I really like it, and I hope you do too. All right, guys, so I'm going to let you go. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Friday. Bye now.